Everybody, Kyle Sasser here, and it's everyone's favorite time of the month. That's right, market statistics time. These statistics are for Pinellas County for April 2023. You're probably asking yourself, Kyle, we're in May, why are we looking at April statistics? The reason why is because we are usually behind a little bit on real estate statistics. Day-to-day statistics are not really helpful. Week-to-week is also not very helpful because a lot of different things can happen during the week. If there's a holiday during a particular week, or if there is an unusual number of storms or something like that, that can impact the real estate market. Monthly report statistics are definitely the way to go. In addition, we are not comparing month to month. So we are not comparing April 2023 to March 2023 statistics. We are comparing April 2023 statistics to April 2022 statistics. The reason why is during the course of a year, there's a natural ebb and flow, houses for sale and buyers in the market. Typically, wintertime is a little bit of a downtime. So because of that, we compare year over year. The market currently is in a bit of a shuffle. It is definitely trying to figure out where it's going to go. We don't have a very clear trend, but it has changed in the last 2 months. Now, whether that is going to be the new overall trend or if this is just a little blip has yet to be seen, because we do still have a lot of indicators that are showing that we should not be having the amount of demand that we have. But overall, big picture, peak of the market was in June, July of 2022. After that, we had 6 months of not much going on. So August, September, October, November, December, January, not a lot going on in the real estate market. Prices were coming down significantly. But overall, the last couple months, buyers has returned. Honestly, because that's not really showing up in these stats. This is kind of a case where conditions on the ground are not reflected in these statistics just because of how long the lead time is on getting these stats out. So these stats are April 2023, but they're actually based on contracts that were written in March 2023. Conditions on the ground are a lot different than they were 2 months ago, but I'll get into more of that in the analysis part after I go over these statistics. Average and median home price, you might remember from math class. So the average is you take like 5 houses, you add up the price that each of those houses sold for, divided by 5, that gives you the average. The median home price is a little bit different. So the median price is the point at which there's an equal number of homes for sale at a more expensive price and at a less expensive price. So the median sales price is a more true, quote unquote, midpoint of the market. I also like using median sales price versus average sales price, because the average sales price can be affected a lot by very expensive or very inexpensive houses. If there happens to be like, more $6 or $7 million houses that sell on average, that can greatly affect the average sales price, but still something good to keep an eye on to see what's happened. All right, so let's dive into these Pinellas County stats here. And if you would like a copy of this beautiful report, the link will be in the descriptions down below. Total number of closed sales was down 21.5% from 1,094 homes to 859 homes. Overall, we are selling less homes in 2023 than 2022. April, May, June 2022 was like peak market. That's some of the highest prices and the highest demand that we have seen. Total number of cash sales is down 41.7%, total of 257. Median sales price. So this is where things get spicy. So median sales price is actually up 2.3% from $440,000 to $450,000. Now, the peak median sales price was $450,000, and that was in median sales price $450,000 of July 2022, and also May 2022. So we have dropped from that June 2022 peak of 450, we dropped all the way back down to 400,000 in January, and we are now back up to 450,000 on a median sales price. That is a big move. That is honestly noteworthy and crazy that the price has moved that fast. If you've been watching these videos, I have been saying over and over that there is pent-up demand. I'll get to that in the analysis video. Average sales price is up 8.1% from $583,480 to $630,860. Total dollar volume is kind of boring. We're basically at $500 million on that, which is down. So, and that's basically a result of the total number of sales being lower than last year. So even though median sales price is up, we're selling fewer houses, meaning total sold is lower. Median percent of original list price. So what this is, whenever somebody lists a house for sale, what percentage of that original list price is the eventual sale at? And that is at 96.1% of that original list price, which is a decrease of 5.2%. April of 2022, we were actually 101.4%, which means that the midpoint was things were selling for 1.5% higher than the asking price, which is absurd, but that is what was going on. Median time to contract is at 20 days, which is an increase of 233%, which is a total that is still very much seller's market. So everyone who's dooming and glooming about prices going down and buyer's market, that is not the case. 20 days time, median time to contract is very much seller's market territory. And that is also down from January when it was 35 days. So we've lost 15 days median time to contract. As I said, the market is median time to sale, which is a little different than median time to contract. So this is time to closing is at 60 days. The noteworthy part of that is that does seem to indicate that there are longer contracts than usual. New pending inventory, so this is stuff that has recently gone under contract, and that is down 9.9% to 1,015. Total number of new listings. So this is noteworthy because this is a big drop. Total number of new listings is down 33.2% to a total of 923. Total active inventory is up 23.1%. Total of 1,248. The noteworthy thing here, we're not selling nearly as many houses as we were, only 859. That's 21.5% fewer. There was 33% fewer listings, 923, but we still technically built inventory because we had 859 sales, 923 new listings come on the market. Pending sales is 1,015, so we actually ate away a little bit of new listings, and total active inventory is at 1,248. We're still kind of building inventory there, but the median price is skyrocketing. And I will conjecture some ideas on that in the analysis part of this. Foreclosures and short sales, basically no change there. Total of 4 foreclosures and 1 short sale. Once again, doom and gloom hasn't changed so much. Now, I've already gone over the median sales price where we had August, September, October, November. I was begging people to go look at houses because I was like, we have not had conditions that good for buyers in years and years and years so far as negotiating money off, just repair concessions. Just median sales price has bounced back up to the July 2022 peaks. To be determined if we continue to climb above that though. Now, I do like to dive into the statistics by price point because things are a little bit different in the $300,000 market versus the $1 million market. I've definitely sold homes at all price points. Technically, there's not a lot of difference between the nuts and bolts of what you do for a $1.5 million house or a $300,000 house, despite what the luxury specialists will tell you. It is basically the same thing. The main difference is the buyer pool is a different size. And so time frames to contract, how many are available at a given time, that is a significant difference. The overall numbers are great, just to kind of keep a general pulse, but we do like to keep an eye on the different price points so we can fairly gauge what's happening at each. So interesting thing about closed sales by sales price is that all of them are basically down across the board. So we didn't really have any part of the market that was breaking the mold so far as fewer homes being sold. So noteworthy prices. So $200,000 to $250,000, there was a total of 16, which is a drop of 69.2% compared to last year. $250,000 to $300,000 was down 13.9%, total of 68. $300,000 to $400,000, that's when we start seeing a large number of homes being sold. So $300,000 to $400,000 was down 19.5% for a total of 236. $400,000 to $600,000 was down 16.3%, total of 298. And $1 million or more, there was 22.4% fewer sales, total of 83. So we see that across the board there, everything's down about 20% with the exception of 250 and under, and that's just because there's not a lot of houses available in that price point. Median time to contract is also up across the board. We're in that 20 to 30 day mark. One thing of exception here is 150 to 200,000 was up 387.5%, total of 39 days. Usually that is going to be a result of things being overpriced and also condition of the house. 250 to 300,000 was up 420%, total of 26. 600 to $1 million was up 420%, total of 26 days. So you can see that overall, everything is taking a lot longer to sell, median time to contract wise. Number of new listings, again, we would expect that there should be fewer homes across the board, which is a little different than what had been happening for the previous 2 to 3 years. So previous 2 to 3 years, we actually had a break at 300 to 400,000 where there was more houses above 300 and 400,000 going up for sale than there was in previous years, and that's because prices had slid up so much. But that has kind of subsided, and we're basically down across the board here. So I'll just give you some highlights. So 200 to 250,000 is down 35.1%. There was a total of 24 new listings. $300 to $400,000 was down 41.7%, total of 196 houses. 600 to $1 million was down 30%. 400 to 600,000 was down 32%, and $1 million or more was down 10%, total of 133. Total inventory by current price, though, that's where we still see that break. So currently it's at 300,000 still. Homes under 300,000, there's fewer inventory available, and more than 300,000, there's more. For example, 150 to 200,000, there was a total of 11 in the entire single-family homes in the entire county in that price range, which is a drop of 63.3%. 250 to 300,000 was down 54.5%, total of 35 in the entire county. 300 to $400,000 was down 1.6%. Total of 183. My general rule is if it's 1, 2, 3, 4%, that's basically kind of like margin of error for how people are feeling that particular month. So I would say that that's holding pretty steady. 400 to 600,000 is up 9.3%, total of 307. And 600 to $1 million is up 46.6%, total of 280. And $1 million or more is up 97.5%, total of 400. So there is almost double the number of $1 million homes for sale this year compared to last year, which is crazy because the market hasn't changed that much. So those are the Pinellas County stats. So what exactly are we to make of all of this? So inventory's up, median sales price is up, total number of sales is down. This isn't making a lot of sense. What I'm seeing, boots on the ground, conditions on the ground wise, is demand has definitely come back. It is no longer the sleepy market that it was from August to January. That said, there is still more inventory than there was. And so basically, we kind of have a split market here currently. So we have the newer stuff that's coming up for sale. A lot of that is going to be fully renovated, great pricing, and a lot of that's getting gobbled up super quick. That's what's caused that time to contract to come down. But then there's other things that have been hanging around for 90, 100 days that maybe it's been overpriced and is still in the market. And so that is showing up. When it finally goes under contract and finally sells, that shows up as well. Now, the thing to remember is those older listings, the ones that have been around for 90 or 100 days, those stats don't actually show up in the statistics until they actually sell. And if they expire, they never show up. So yeah, so we kind of have this dual market going on currently. So there's still some deals to be had out there, and we can still negotiate. It's nothing like it was in February to July 2022. We can usually still negotiate for contracts. We can usually get some more favorable terms, but especially in Pinellas County, Saint Pete, Clearwater, I have not had a non-multiple offer situation over there for about 6 weeks at this point. So demand has definitely come back on the Pinellas County side of things. And that shows up in the median sales price rising back up to the $450,000 level. Hillsborough County's been a little bit calmer, not as much craziness going on over there, but again, we did see that the median sales price has come up, and so that does indicate that there is more demand over there. Remember, this is also split by housing type as well. So this is all single family home that we're talking about here. Condos are kind of its own separate thing. They do generally kind of follow the general trend, but condos, a lot easier still. Not a lot of multiple offers. On condos, usually maybe 1 or 2 that you're going up against. Houses are starting to get like 3, 4, 5 offers, so they could be a little bit trickier now. But again, not as crazy as February, March, April, May of 2022 when we were going up against 30 to 40 other offers on one house. And we are helped a little bit because the inventory is such that there are a lot more homes to choose from. So markets definitely give us some big signals. It's still too early for me to call this a trend. It seems like to me more it's just buyers coming to the realization that this is probably the new normal. Interest rates are not necessarily going to drop back down to 3% anytime soon, which I would be surprised if they would. And honestly, 2% we will probably never see again, just because the ramifications for 2% loans is significant. And I doubt that the powers that be would ever want to get back to that anytime soon, because we're still kind of working through the inflation problems of that. You know, the flip side is, because everyone's like, when's the crash? When's the crash? When's the crash? There's not necessarily going to be a crash. It could just level off and hold. It could very well continue to just keep going up. Like, there's no way to know. I look at this stuff every week, and I generate these stats videos every month, and I can't tell you. And I can tell you for sure that the people producing the reports and the news stories also do not know, because some of the stuff they come up with in those reports is just absolutely bonkers. For example, there's a Redfin one, and they were trying to arrive at total number of rental houses, and they basically called anything that was in a trust a rental house or an investment property. And that's just not the case. Trusts can be used to hold rental property, but the vast majority of trusts in the Tampa Bay area are actually used more for estate planning, long-term health and tax benefits, like all those sorts of things. Like trusts like, you know, John D. Rockefeller, there's usually other vehicles that they use for that. And that report also missed the biggest owner of single-family home investment properties, which is non-owner occupied homes. They completely left that off the report. So anytime you see like a news story with very official sounding, and like I said, that one was from Redfin. I've seen ones from Zillow, and even like the state real estate organizations. Like, it's crazy the stuff that they miss. So the honest truth is, we don't really know what the future holds. A lot of people think that home prices are going to go down. I think there's a lot of resistance to that, just natural human nature, and that is, people have very inexpensive 2.5%, 3% loans on houses. So people are happy to stay put, and also people are extremely reluctant to sell the house for less than what they paid for it. Real estate just takes a long time to sort out a price decrease. And we had one. We had a price decrease from June, July 2022 to January 2023, and like, I was calling people and begging them to go look at houses then, because the market was prime for, you know, excellent buyer negotiations. That is not the case anymore. Like, the market has shifted again. Whether that's going to be 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, I don't know. We'll have to see. Long-term prospects are obviously good. You know, people still love the beach. They will always want to be close to the beach. It's just kind of a natural supply and demand thing. But if you're trying to price something out for, like, you know, 1 to 2 years, that is where things get very problematic, and that's basically impossible to predict. In my mind, the best thing is always, if you're looking to make a positive life change, if you're looking to change your circumstances and move from a house that you're ready to be out of, or a situation that you're ready to be out of, and you're ready to buy something that is going to improve your life, the market's going to go up and down regardless of what you do. It's impossible to predict. Keep it within budget so that you're not going to be experiencing pain if the market turns against you. But, you know, make that positive life change. So to recap, demand has come back, at least Pinellas County. Hillsborough County is still, you know, it's teetering there. But Pinellas County, just expect that there's going to be some competition for purchasing a house now. Hillsborough County is a little bit more wide open, same with Pasco. That's probably going to be the trend for the next few months. But if that changes, you will hear it here first. Overall though, my impression of the market is that it's still downward force. Just the inventory and the interest rates, like there's a lot of stuff putting downward pressure on. So my overall like impression of the market is that it's a downward pressure still. But, you know, just the fact that those buyers are back and that median home price has come up, it's giving me some pause. This isn't like a clear-cut thing like it was after the pandemic, like 5 months after the pandemic, where we had a clear imbalance of more people buying a lot more houses than were going up for sale. So that was very, very clear. This current setup though, it feels like the market's just kind of, you know, swooshing back and forth. Obviously wintertime is also a period of low demand, probably helped that price decrease as well. But interestingly, the median sales price did build over the last couple months though, slightly, and then it's jumped the last couple months. So again, not really a clear-cut trend unless you're in Pinellas County. Just feels like the market's trying to figure out what it wants to do here. So we probably won't really know for another few months here, which happens. That happens sometimes in real estate. It is a very, very, very slow market. It is not like the stock market where you're getting like tens of thousands of price points every minute. It takes a long, long, long time for things to shift and move and change. So my name is Kyle Sasser. I'd like to thank you for tuning in for these Tampa Bay market statistics. If you would like your own great place here in the Tampa Bay area, feel free to reach out to me. My phone number is 813-323-7396. You can also reach me at kyle@ashlergroup.com. You can book a call at the time that works best for you. Also a link down below for that. If you have any questions, would love to hear them in the comments. I've been getting a lot of positive feedback here the last few months. So all of you people watching this on the YouTubes, I'd like to thank you for watching and clicking buttons at various points in time. It's definitely much appreciated because a lot of times send this out into the ether and just hope that somebody watches it and appreciates it and that it helps some people. But it's good to have that positive feedback that this is actually being helpful and beneficial to you. I'm also going to be putting together some Q&A videos. So if you have a specific question, maybe unrelated to market stats, but would like a in-depth answer on it, feel free to leave that in the comments below as well. My name is Kyle Sasser. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon.